Well, when I was looking up some of your stuff earlier, and I was
Yeah.
looking at Buzzkill, for example, okay,
Yep.
and I was thinking that came out in 1996, and I was like, do you think that paved the way for a show like Jackass? While you didn't kind of
Yeah.
implement like the pain and the danger element of it, the whole hidden camera joke thing, like, do you think that kind of paved the way for shows like that, or do
It
you think it was maybe
absolutely.
do you think it was maybe ahead of its time in that sense?
Well, so that, just to back it up, the Buzzkill came out of when I was at Second City. I was doing, like I said, doing characters on stage, and I would take those characters out and I would shoot them with a camera in reality. I would go out in reality, kind of more like a Borat, like Ali G was doing.
Yeah,
And I cut together a little pilot, and then we shopped it around with Second City, and we ended up selling it. There was several interested parties in it, but at the end of the day, I decided to go with MTV because they were so cheap that I knew if they produced something, if they said, "Oh, we're going to make 13 episodes," I knew they would air those 13 episodes because, like, Fox was also interested and ABC. And the problem is, those companies, they have money where they can go, we shot 13 episodes, we canceled it after 2 episodes, you're never going to see them again. So I knew that MTV was the right place. Plus, they were shifting into programming, getting away from
reality, yeah.
music videos. And so it made sense to me that um, that's where their ship was going to be, and they don't have the material. So when they make my show, they're going to put it on. We did 2 seasons, but we were definitely a little out of control, and we kept getting a demerit, and hit on, like, the legal department of MTV and the president of MTV, where we kept getting like double secret probation, and eventually we got canceled because we crossed the line with this Whitney Houston situation we did on the last episode.
Hmm.
That was the nail in the coffin. But during that time, I'm from an area of Pennsylvania, Delaware, and on Jackass, there was a guy named Dan Margera, and
Yeah.
he was coming up behind me where I grew up. He was a skateboarder, I was a skateboarder, and my close friend sponsored him at age 14. And so Bam would come out and live with me or stay with me when he came out to California. Well, that's where I lived while I was shooting Buzzkill, and he was like, "Man, I love Buzzkill." He slept on my floor, and they do a thing where they make skateboard videos. Everyone gets a skateboard video. So he asked me, and my friend Rob asked me, "Will you help produce and make Bam's skateboard video?" So a lot of it was skateboarding, and I didn't shoot a lot of that stuff. They wanted me to shoot these interstitials of Bam and his friends, with shopping carts and doing prank phone calls and screwing around. So I shot all that stuff, and it's called Can't Kill Yourself on Landspeed. Later on was re-released as CKY, but if you
Yeah.
watch that first one, I'm at the end. It's my apartment, and I come out yelling at him and stuff like that. And so I shot that. Then a few years later, because that was like '96, that was right when we were doing Buzzkill. I already shot Scary Movie. It was already in the can with Toofy and stuff. So now I'm doing films, and I
Yeah.
get a call from Spike Jones, who was a friend of mine, and he's like, "We're putting together a show called Jackass for MTV, and we'd like you to be a part of it." And I was like, "I can consult, but I don't have time because I'm going to be making movies." And so I consulted him on how to set up the production to bypass the legal system that we were getting crushed on with
Hmm.
Buzzkill, because everything edgy we wanted to do, some of the stuff we really wanted to do, they were like, "You can't do it, you can't do it." But if you set up an outside production company and you shoot it, then they're off the hook because you already shot it. Okay, you already got release forms. All right, it worked out. That was your production that
Yeah.
was
Great
going to get
idea.
sued. And so I consulted on that, and then I basically said, I have a guy that I think would be great for the show, and I gave him the skateboard video stuff that I made, and that's how they got Bam and his whole crew. Because really, Jackass was Johnny Knoxville and Steve-O from Big Brother, and I was working with Spike Jones with a magazine called Grand Royal at the time.